On this week's show, we'll be discussing Metal Gear Solid Delta reviews are in, Gears of War Reloaded reviews are in, and Clair Obscur is getting the franchise treatment. All that and much, much more on this week's GamerGuild Podcast. Good game, everyone, and welcome back to the GamerGuild Podcast, your weekly news show where we round up all the week's video game stories and news for your listening or viewing pleasure right here on youtube.com/GamerGuildTV and up there in the digital cloud on your podcast preference of choice. Your podcast players for this week are none other than the Arcane Rogue at Mr. Chris.
Metal Gear.
That's actually pretty good. I am not going to do an impression. I am Richie, if you didn't already know. And we do have a great show lined up for you. But Chris, how are you?
I'm good. The summer holidays are coming to an end. Some big game titles, albeit lots of them remasters and remakes, have released. It's getting a bit cooler out there. But yeah, I'm in a good place right now. I was at a family wedding this week, so nice bit of family time with the loved ones, celebrating a beautiful marriage. And here to sit down and talk video games. Looking forward to it.
How was the wedding?
Yourself? It was fantastic. Yeah. Really good event. Yeah. And I didn't have a hangover, which is always the...
Nice. That's what you want.
The silver lining of the whole thing.
When you spend an evening working on getting a hangover and you wake up next day without one, you go, yes.
That's win-win.
Yeah, it's not been a bad week. Was babysitting your daughter the other night. That was fun.
You did, yeah. Got to spend some quality time with little Chris.
Little Chris.
And you didn't play any games?
I didn't. I did when I came home. When I came home and started working on the platinum for Clair Obscur.
After that hard slog of looking after a child for a few hours, you'll know how exhausting it can be. Straight into like, we won't have to do that for several months at least. And
then few beers you left for me, because I didn't stay over at yours when my girlfriend did. I took them beers back and drank them while playing video games at home.
That makes sense. So it's good use of it. I did have one beer left, which I'm doing now, which is like a Mega Star of ramen. Although in my hands, in this shit, it doesn't actually look as big as it is. I need something like, that's my phone, for context, I guess, to make it bigger. Yeah.
I've bought a new phone. It hasn't come yet. So the Pixel 6a, which is what I've got, they have a battery issue. So Google have hamstrung the battery to stop it overheating.
Right.
So they initially offered me a free battery change. So I thought, great. And they just said it was a walk-in. So I walked in to the shop, got told it wasn't a walk-in, that I had to they had to wipe my phone for data protection reasons and send it off, and it could take up to 2 weeks. So it's like, Google, tell me this is a walk-in. So I expected to walk in, hand my phone over, and a couple of hours later go back to the shop and with a new battery in.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the other option of taking 150 quid off them.
Cashback?
Yeah, just give me 100. I did 150. It was either 100 quid directly to my bank or 150 quid Google Store. Yeah. And then the Pixel 9As were discounted by 100 quid anyway. So I just saved 250 quid. And then I'm doing the trade-in, which I might get another 75 off.
Not bad. I've heard the Google Pixel phones are powered by old Google Stadia controller batteries, so that probably explains a lot.
Really?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, but I might get it might, depending on what the outcome of when I trade my current phone in, I might get a Pixel 9a for less than 200 quid.
Bargain, can't go wrong with that, and I'll see you through several more years.
Hopefully, that's the plan. Have you been playing anything interesting this week, Chris?
Yes, a few things that I'm sure we'll talk about as part of the news. In terms of video games, kind of broken away from that. Got the Mafia Platinum last week, as I mentioned it, so a bit of a clean up there. Really enjoyed it. And then, just kind of in between games, not really want to commit to anything. So went back to Helldivers 2 this week for the launch. I bought all of the Halo skins, couldn't help myself. It was one of those of like, it's Halo on PlayStation. I can't not go in and buy one of the war bonds and spend the credits on all that. Again, credit, ironically, where credit's due. you could get all these skins and stuff without having to spend a penny. You just have to play the game, and you can get the credits and then buy the equipment. But yeah, went in, got like kind of the drop pod and the Halo green themed like skin for the car, because it was like, it's going to make it look like a Warthog. I was like, I've got to get that. The gun as well, all of those things, like the spiker gun and everything. So had to go ahead and jump and get all them. So I've been playing a bit of Helldivers too, and I know there's some stories later on in the news around it, but just game's so good. I know we need to do a live stream. I know I already sanctioned the funds to fund democracy here on GamerGuildTV. But yeah, a little bit of Helldivers, a little bit rusty. Took me a while to shake off some of the rust, because it must have been a good 4 or 5 months since the last free update they did, and they introduced the new areas. And aside from that, I played a little game called Bluey with my daughter as well. I know we played it many months ago, but we went back to it this time. She was a bit more aware of what was going on in it. It's very much just like a collectathon. You're in the house from the cartoon show, and your parents out there very well versed in the Bluey universe, and you get to play as all the characters. They've since added 2 new characters in, which I did not expect this game to get essentially free DLC.
Reddy and Greeny.
After the fact. No, it doesn't work. No. A guy, the uncle called Bandit, and the nephew called Muffin, to give you some insight into it. But yeah, it essentially it's like a 2D game where you just move around the house and find things like toys and footballs and stuff like that. But it's fairly simple. It goes through like episodes as though you were watching the show. So there's like 6 or so episodes, play the game, and it's very simplistic. But again, it keeps their attention. It's got all the music, all the correct voice actors from the show, so it's genuine, it's legit, as they say, and it's quite an easy platinum. So look out for my tweet/thread post when I get platinum number 155. So you've got Mafia, Expedition 33, possibly Gears of War Reloaded, and then you've got Bluey video game.
Nice.
But it's not a dirty platinum like some of those 99p.
No,
My name is Mayo ones.
You didn't buy it just as for an easy platinum. You've bought it to enjoy it with your daughter, exactly. And you might as well get the platinum. It'll be her first platinum.
It's the first platinum game she's ever got. So yeah.
Have you made her a PSN account as well?
No, I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
So when she eventually is a bit older, she goes, "Oh, I've already got an account. I've got a platinum already."
That my name is Mayo. Yeah. So yeah, other than that, just diving around, and obviously we'll get into it with the news of the new titles that dropped this week that we'll get into and be talking about. Some first looks up on the channel, of course. But yeah, how about yourself, Richie?
So I after rolling credits on Final Fantasy X, I very much decided that I wasn't going to get the platinum anytime soon. What's required for the platinum is literally just insane. I reckon they've probably got at least another 50 to 100 hours of just grinding.
Okay.
To get to the platinum. It's not going to be fun.
I might take that and raise you Metal Gear Gears of War. The damn Gear games at the moment. Yeah. We'll talk about it later on, but yeah, the trophy list for Gears of War is looking like a literal grinding my gears for that one, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, but if anyone's played Final Fantasy X, you kind of know about the sphere grid. You have to fill it with every single character, which is just insane. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I went back to Expedition 33, Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Mm-hmm. Get the franchise name in.
Because it's now a franchise. And I finally got the platinum.
Well, hey, congratulations. So, was it as hard as you were anticipating?
Yes and no. I think the game itself can be quite tricky in places if you're playing on like a normal difficulty.
Yep.
Simon, the last kind of super boss, can be tricky as well, unless you use what I did, and I looked up a few guides to get some insane builds for my characters. Mm-hmm. The grind to 199 is not too bad. The Gastro games are bollocks. They're just not fun. Like
they're not. The one where you've got to parkour along the logs in the sea.
Oh god, it's so like janky. It's where it shows the jankiness of the game. Like
when you're walking around just freely, it doesn't seem to bother you. But when you have to be quite precise, the hitbox on like the logs in your feet are just like non-existent.
But I feel like because the logs look bumpy because it's a log, but I feel like the hitbox is just that lumpy. So if you don't land, they'll probably just slide off. It's
the slide's bad. It's one of them video games, isn't it, where like the knees and the legs don't react to the angle of the area which they stood on, and then your whole character just goes like a rectangle block falling off a circle. That's pretty much all it is.
Like the climb of the massive tower, did you find sometimes they just don't grab onto stuff? Like, it looks like they go, oh, we're not going to make that jump, so they'll just grab on and climb up. And sometimes they just don't. And you're just
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I feel your pain. It took me a good while to do it.
It's not a platformer, so I don't know why they put stuff like that in. But it's doable. Gestural volleyball is still probably the worst thing ever imagined.
I can see that. Yeah, Gestural games. If you need help, there is a short up on the channel of me completing that run on the parkour thing.
Nice. But yeah, other than that, I have now started Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and there's a first look on the channel right now.
There is two first looks.
Yes, two first looks of Metal Gear Solid.
No, two with gears in.
Two gears. Yeah, there's two Gear first looks. Gears of War Reloaded. When did that come up? Wednesday last week?
Wednesday, the launch of the game,
Yeah, and Metal Gear Solid Delta went up Saturday for members and Sunday for non-members.
Go check it out. Yeah. I will get into it with the news, actually. I won't bring it up here. I've got lots of Metal Gear questions because I have... Unfortunately, I alluded to it last week's show, but I knew I had Gears coming on Wednesday. But I have to wait for my birthday next week, Tuesday, for my mother's getting me... Or my mother and father, I should say, are getting me a game. Because it's like that weird thing where it's like, what do you want, son? It's like, well, I'm an adult, I buy everything I want. So it's like, what can I get that'll save me money but I actually do genuinely want? It's like, can you get me a game, ma'am? Just Amazon it, wrap it up, give it back to me. Metal Gear was the one I thought I'll hold off for a little bit. To the betterment of the channel, because you all got a Gears first look and you got the Metal Gear one from Richie, so it worked out quite well for our audience out there. But I, like a little child, have to wait until my 36th birthday on Tuesday to actually get the game.
Yeah, you say you have the wait, but you literally have Gears of War Reloaded to occupy your time, so it's not exactly going to be a painful wait.
True. Maybe I'm nearly finished it already.
Maybe. To be fair, Metal Gear Solid Delta isn't exactly long, so I'm probably about halfway through already.
I mean, the opening cutscene alone.
The cutscenes. There's cutscenes in this game.
It's so Kojima. It's like, God, I forgot how much he wanted to be a film director back in the day. Well, still does, to be fair.
Yeah.
But, the cinematics.
All right, shall we just get into it? Chris, would you like to introduce us to
the graciously gathered Gamer Guild Gazette, a.k.a. the news.
The news. And as always, the news is brought to you by our Guild Heroes, which you can join for as little as 99p over on the YouTube channel, as Dazu did at the Silver Tier, and Zigborn88 is come back. So thank you very much for joining us, guys.
Both supporting us at the Silver Tier, and we did have... we had a few members jump in on the Gears of War Reloaded one this past week as well, and they managed to snag one of the free memberships that went up as well. So, I said when I start giving my YouTube rewards money back into the channel, I've started to do it as membership gifts. So if you keep an eye out for it to our live streams, there's a very high chance every other week you'll probably score yourself a free Gamer Guild Hero membership, just like Jin did, I believe, this past week. Yeah. So check it out.
It makes sense because it's the same money going into the channel. It's just now you get something from it as well. So
yeah, absolutely. I will say as a little note before we get into it, I don't know if you noticed it this week, we got claimed about 5 times.
Yes, I saw the notifications.
For which I've disputed them all. For anyone out there who wants to peek behind the YouTube curtain of content creation, it was a lot of our older podcasts and shows. You're talking some Stadia episodes, some X-Pass episodes, and it was a Forza Horizon 5 trailer that was released in 2021. So 4-year-old, if not older, because it's a trailer, so it probably came out before the launch of the game. Some random racing channel claiming it on a video from 2025. So every one of them I went in, Richie, and I disputed it and said, this is public domain content published by Microsoft/Xbox. It is in no way live racing. I know Forza Horizon looks good, but it is no way representative of the 2025 live rally racing grid.
This is it.
That some other channels trying to claim. It was like, fuck you. No, this does not belong to them. It's free to use. We're going to get our 1 pence back royalties. We take.
It's one of that. We put the trailers up without any audio in them as we're talking about them. Mm-hmm. It's like it's fair use as you can get. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's news coverage.
And we'll either use footage that we've recorded ourselves, or trailers.
Yeah.
That's what we use when it comes to this stuff. So it's like this podcast should be fairly safe but we get claimed all the time because YouTube
and Namco are bad for it as well, and Rockstar don't like Grand Theft Auto footage, even though it's their own trailer. It's got like 200 million views on YouTube. Heaven forbid we put one in a news story covering the
talking about the game.
I know, yeah, but anything that's a trailer to promote something, I feel like as it's promotional material, it by default is public domain, because you are literally putting it out there to the general public for consumption. So whoever this channel is, just go race your cars and stop trying to pull down this poor little gaming channel just trying to make some content. But yes, back to the actual news, Richie.
It's the first news story. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is not the end of the franchise. It's been confirmed. So Clair Obscur has finally been confirmed as the title of the franchise, with Expedition 33 being the name of the first game in that franchise.
Yes.
Good news.
I mean, it's absolute no surprise there, right? It's going to no doubt win plenty of Game of the Year awards. It's the huge surprise hit of 2025. Again, I never really liked the name. I still kind of don't. It is a term used in art, so like Clair Obscur, it's a French term. It's like an artistic technique that uses strong contrast between light and dark to create a sense. I'm reading from Google here, it's just off the top of my head. The term describes a deliberate placement of light and shadow to model three dimensionals using a good sense of volume, depth, and mood, which I think does embrace what the game kind of goes for in an artistic colour palette style. I get that. It just doesn't sound like a good term, but evidently it's sold millions upon millions, and it's a smash hit, and I absolutely adored it. It's my Game of the Year so far. And I guess the premise of the game, Richie, lends very nicely into, similar to Final Fantasy, like you could just have several stories told in this universe, and I'm there for it.
Well, with Final Fantasy, every single game is effectively, unless there's direct sequels, is set standalone. I feel like Clair Obscur is going to go the opposite route, where it's going to explore more of this world, because there's a lot of themes and stuff, a lot of little bits and nuggets of lore that are dropped in Expedition 33 that don't really go anywhere. Like, kind of one of the biggest things is leading into...
Spoilers?
Yeah, I'm trying to explain without spoilers. So I think there's an organisation called the Writers that don't actually appear in Expedition 33, but they're heavily suggested that they are one of the catalysts behind what happens. Yeah,
they're to blame for the downfall of the whole game. Yeah, shades of fan. But it very much does set the tone for you've had this story, you've had the 80 odd hours of this story, but they could easily pivot, give you a whole new cast of characters, similar gameplay mechanics, obviously iterate a little bit as you would do with a sequel, and just give me more. And I was like, as long as you've got that like Frenchiness to it and the music, I'm there for it.
I feel where Expedition 33 is all about the painters and stuff, and that's where the magic of the world comes from painting. I feel like other art forms might have similar things, so the writers might have a different set of abilities. You might get musicians come in and have another set, because
creative arts.
Some of the characters have talked about being musicians, torn between music and art and painting in Clair Obscur, Expedition 33.
That's one of its big things, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a big part of who they're so it's like I can see the franchise folding out. They've set the things in motion. Now they just need to kind of realise them.
So apparently we're a big enough show for sponsorship now, guys, so check out this ad.
If you like video games, then you can't miss Call Me By Your Game. It's a podcast hosted by me, Sweetie Pie Connor McCabe, where I invite a guest to share about a special video game from a memorable moment in their life. That's right, it's baked in nostalgia. Was Persona 5 a warm blanket during the pandemic? Did Mario Kart 64 feel like a vacation? Or does Spyro remind you of that winter break with Dad? These are the types of stories told on the podcast. So call me Tetris, Half-Life, or StarCraft 2, it's up to you. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts, and get ready to call me by your game.
Yeah, it was one of those that really worked for me with it, and I think it mirrored quite a lot of Alan Wake, and why I enjoyed that story so much, of like, just the concept behind, you've got this lake that draws some kind of power from it, and any creative mind puts input into it. So in Alan Wake, you'll know, like, the musicians, the old gods of Asgard, they create stuff, and they become creatures, characters within that world. And then you've got Alan Wake's writing with his typewriter, those stories come to life, and it's that, like, full cycle loop. Alan Wake 2 focuses a lot on, like, artwork coming to life, and I think one of the random guys in the old folks home, or the care home in the game, he's a painter, and then his paintings become monsters in the DLC. So it's like, there is so much of, like, any creativity, like, just that concept of that can come to life and be horror or storytelling or beautiful realized worlds. Like, one of the best things about Clair Obscur is, like, when the veil gets pulled back a little bit, and you realize, like, certain characters in the game, the Necrons and the little puppet people, what they're called,
the Nevrons, the
Gestrels, and, like, they are real world characters who, if you were to create a painting and make your own world and pull I guess inspiration from your own experiences, that's, like, really interesting. Go, like, okay, so that character might be this person in the real world, or vice versa, and vice versa. And I can't wait. I think it bodes really well. The hype for a sequel is going to be huge on this one as well. Just by how much, like, lightning in a bottle they've got for the original. What I would be curious to know is, like, how much they, I guess, scale up from success, because you'd imagine the studio is going to double in size, if that. And can they retain that kind of that quality that this one's captured? This
is what I hope they don't do. I hope they don't go overboard, overscale up, because this is where we're seeing problems, where we're talking about constant layoffs and stuff. Studios have become overly bloated, and now they've got more staff than they require. And then as projects get cancelled, I hope it wins a Game of the Year, or is in the conversation at least. Absolutely. I hope it continues to sell well, and I hope the business side of that, they're sensible with the money and can to fund the next project without having to rush it out. Take your time, keep your core staff in place, expand a bit, but don't do. I think this is what CD Projekt Red did. That's where a lot of the problems with Cyberpunk came in. They expanded too much too quickly.
Yeah. So much success with The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Got a bit ahead of themselves with it all. Yeah, I can see that. If they time it right, if they're really tactical behind the scenes, this game, bear in mind it came out in March? I think. Huge roaring success. If they can get some story DLC and a Game of the Year edition potentially out by, like, the end of the year, turn of the year, I think that could, like, bump
just to get
massively.
To get yourself back in that conversation. Yeah. I'm not sure where they will, because it is getting late in the year already, and it's not been announced. They've announced they're exploring new content and features, but not announced that they've actually got anything concrete they're working on.
Interesting. I do hope from another standpoint, that the team, the core team, stays together, because there could be every risk as well. The talent that's now the leadership talent at Sandfall Entertainment, someone doesn't come in and go, you know what, we're going to hire you to move over to EA, or like the big players who have the big money could tease people and go and leave your little indie studio, even though you've had huge success, come and work for EA. I'm thinking of it in, like, football terms, and, like, a team like does amazingly well one season and they have, like, quite shoestring budget. All the big clubs come in and go, right, we'll have your star striker, your star centre back. A bit like Bournemouth this year. They're getting picked apart, and then they somehow have to pull together, go again next season, just like Sandfall have to pull themselves together, restructure, go again for a Clair Obscur sequel. But hopefully the team doesn't get tore apart with talent and promotions elsewhere.
I'm kind of confident that might not happen. If, again, this comes back to them being smart with the money that they're earning.
Pay your
people, keep them happy, and because you don't want to lose them, they will contribute to this amazing game. And with most major developers at the moment bleeding staff, why would you want to go to a Ubisoft or an Xbox or a PlayStation at the moment? Because there's constantly in the news about layoffs and redundancies.
Well, that's where I think that
the moment
that weighted conversation comes in, where if, like, an EA came in and said, right, Clair Obscur was amazing, you like the art director or the music composer or whoever it may be, and they come in and go, do you want to work on Star Wars? do you want to work on Assassin's Creed? And they go like, oh, fuck, I love those games. I grew up with those games.
Yeah,
to work on one of those titles would be like amazing for me. And then they're paying you double, maybe, because they can afford it or something. Like, again, I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but I just hope this team, as much as they'll have to expand, I do hope they can keep it together and just share in that success. And you've got to think that a lot of the leadership team could and should be, I guess, millionaires, maybe? This game sold like 3.5 million copies.
Yeah, I reckon there will be. Like,
you'd hope,
I hope so. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
so.
As long as they spread the wealth to keep people happy, I think it makes it easier for people to turn down a bigger salary somewhere else to stay on the next passion project, because that's what Clair Obscur was. Wasn't it actually pitched to Ubisoft at one point? And they broke away from Ubisoft, didn't they?
It's made up of ex-Ubisoft devs at its core,
Because Ubisoft wouldn't fund a game like this.
No.
So why would you want to go
It's not
back?
a Tom Clancy IP. Why would Ubisoft look at it twice? Yeah,
so it makes you think, why would you want to go back? Because Ubisoft, it's not like in the past, you could look at it and go, you know what, someone where like Ubisoft they have stability, you go there, it's job security. That doesn't exist right now.
Yeah.
So you might as well stick with the indie studio that's making a Game of the Year candidate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking forward to it. The direct quote from the game developer was, who is the director of the game, Guillaume Broche, said, "It's not the end of the series yet. It's of the name. It's one of the stories that we want to tell in this franchise. Exactly what it is and what it'll look like, we're not too sure. We've got the concept. It's still too soon to announce, of course. But what is sure is that it's not the end of the Clair Obscur franchise."
I feel like they've got just tipped over a sales target. That means that they can actually now greenlight it. So
also
now
noting,
yep, we're doing it.
I know you alluded to it. They're looking at possibly new content, accessibility features. But further note that a Switch 2 version could be interesting.
I think it would be, because that'd be a lot of money for you.
That would be very smart, I think, especially Nintendo fans traditionally being huge fans of like RPG style games. I think the energy and the momentum this game has, I think if you can go into early 2026 with a Switch 2 version, that'd be awesome.
I mean, you have to remember, like franchises like Final Fantasy, and I think probably Dragon Quest got their start on Nintendo hardware.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
With the Switch 2, like performing really well. I think I saw Final Fantasy VII Remake is running at a solid 30 frames per second, which a lot of people might scoff at, but it's not terrible. It's very, very playable. Anyway, Chris, moving on to our second story of the week, a game that you've been playing, Gears of War Reloaded. Tell us about it. What's your first impressions after someone who's played Gears of War?
Quite recently as well. I think we played it probably just over a year and a half ago, perhaps. I think we played Gears of War 2 last September. I think we started as part of our anniversary stream, if I recall, and then we went on to play the rest of it in the following weeks. Yeah, Gears of War Reloaded. We know the original came out in 2005, Xbox 360. Myself and you, we played the Ultimate Edition, which came out in 2015, which in itself was 10 years ago also, when that launched. So yeah, it's got its re-release now, and it's came out 2025 with Reloaded. But the interesting thing that made this different for me, playing it on the PlayStation 5, and that was the strangest thing, is turning on PS5, booting up the game, and seeing the Xbox Studios kind of like ident intro kick in with the music and the logo, and it was like, this is weird. And playing Gears of War with like PlayStation prompts of like reloading with R1 and X to take cover, like that kind of thing, it sits really weird knowing fine well that Gears of War has been an Xbox franchise for so long. I did say in the first look as well, like Gears of War originally there was a PS3 build back in 2005 that was up and running, made by Epic. It was playable at a few events back in there. Possibly it was E3, I'm not sure which event it was. And then obviously Microsoft brokered a deal with Epic to make it Xbox exclusive, and the rest is history with that one. And it just kind of like sat having a fantastic home on Xbox. But yeah, having watched from a distance, a happy distance for some time, played like Horde mode around a friend's house every now and again, or maybe Gears 3 or 4, can't remember which version. Going full circle, playing it with you, and then getting to sit here on Wednesday and play through the Reloaded, the best version, like the best looking version it's ever been. Game's great, plays great. little bit framey every now and again, which I think you never really know what the reason behind that, but nothing like game breaking, just a couple of judders here and there. But in terms of the gameplay mechanics, they've polished it up a little bit. It plays smoother. They've added in some quality of life things, such as like the motion blur. Don't know if you remember, when you hold down X to kind of run, they do like that little shuffle run where like the camera starts to rock with you. When I was playing on the first look, I got about 50 minutes in, and I started to feel like quite disorientated a little bit. When like
I don't like motion blur in games. I think it makes the games look terrible.
It's when if you've ever played like VR, and you get a little bit hot and flustered because I think your central what's it called? Why can't I think of it? Gyroscopic. You kind of feel like a little bit off center. So I was playing it and I started getting like really warm, and then my face started getting a bit flushed, and I was just like, I don't feel very well. And I was like, I think it's because I'm playing a lot closer to the screen, because traditionally I'd play it on a TV, but I was here on my PC, like hooked up to the PS5, capturing it. And then I was just like 50 minutes in, I was like, I need to go into the settings and have a look at like just turning off motion blur or something, because I'm feeling like really like just flushed. But either way, I played through the game, played a little bit more last night. I'm currently up to, like you remember, I'm in the mines. So I'm looking for a device. I'm in the mines with all the locusts and such down there, and I'm looking for this tool device. I think I'm about to walk across, spoilers for a 20-odd-year-old game, about to come across Dom's partner. He's looking for her out in the wasteland, and I think you find like those little pods where like they've been doing kind of scientific experiments on them. You're like, oh no.
That's quite late in the game, isn't it?
There's only like 4 acts, and I'm in Act 3, and the end of Act 3, about to do that. So I think realistically, looking on YouTube, you can finish the campaign in like 5 hours. So if you know what you're doing, and you're not looking around for cog tags to collect or anything like that, you can breeze through it. Obviously, there is multiplayer, and there is great difficulties. This is where it brings it back to my point about the trophy list, which I was like, it's a single-player game. It still does have multiplayer, but here's the thing that ticks me off. They've kept pretty much all the same achievements from the Xbox version, which I get it. It's true to nature. It's true to form. But if you're going to modernise a game, maybe take another glance at the trophy list and go, like, do we need certain things in there? For example, finish all the acts. That's fair, Richie. Yeah, that's fair enough. Go through the game. Even finish it on hardcore difficulty or insane difficulty. So you need to do it on the top one, essentially.
I'm not usually a fan of difficulty.
I'm not a fan of that either. Because I always think, like, so I need to play through it. I don't want my first time playing through it on insane, because I'm probably just going to end up hating myself for dying so many times. I died quite a few times in the first look, actually. So I'd hate to think what insane mode is.
For me, it's just some people just not able to complete.
I mean, there's an accessibility element of it. Collect all the cog tags, recover them. Recover 11, trophy, recover 22, trophy, recover 33. On any difficulty. So there's no difficulties attached to that one. And then we start to get into the one where it's like, right, I'm going to need help. Complete co-op difficulty on insane mode. So now I need someone to go through the absolute pain of insane mode. And then we get into multiplayer. Revive 100 teammates in versus multiplayer mode. Revive. So you need to wait for someone to be downed, then to revive them. There's another one in here. Spot 100 enemies, resulting in assisted kills in online mode. I don't even know what that means. I guess you can tag enemies, but then that has to result in a kill, so you get an assist.
This all comes back to my thing where I don't like multiplayer tagged onto single-player games.
Oh, it's getting better.
If you're not interested in the multiplayer, then half this... I've got the trophy list up in front of me. Half of this stuff is just stuff... I've always thought, why can't they... Like, same with difficulty trophies.
Let's split them.
Put them as DLC trophies. So you can still get the platinum, but you don't need that.
Yeah. And then we get into the really particular ones. Win 10 versus matches without losing a round. So you're relying on the rest of the squad. Kill 10,000 people in versus mode. 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Complete 100 matches in ring-based game types online and capture 3 objectives in every match. Complete 100 ring-based matches and capture 3 objectives in each match. I feel like the detail required for that is like, who decided this was like a fun thing to do? And then reach level 5, 10, 30, reach level 100 online mode. Kill an enemy.
There's 8 people who have the platinum at the time of recording.
I mean, that's all you really need to do, don't you? So,
But I had a look earlier for Metal Gear Solid Delta, and I think there's like over 100 people who've got the platinum already. It's like, how? Like, how do you get the platinum that quick?
they are all Kojima's friends.
Probably.
But yeah, so it's just stuff like that which made me... I mean, it doesn't take the wind out of my sails, but you know, when you just think, like, I would have loved to have an Xbox game, get the platinum trophy, just add that extra bit of gravitas of, like, yeah, I've platinumed Gears of War on PlayStation 5. And I looked and I was like, don't have the time of my life, don't have the patience, don't probably have the skill to get some of the granular detail required to get that trophy.
Like, who has got to level 100 on the multiplayer already? Like, people have done it.
Yeah, it's people who grind those gears. Again, probably old school Xbox fans who are like in a time and place of their life where they can sit down and just play it all week long. And I envy them massively. Yeah. But not to take away from the game, though, because the game looks great. It's the best it's ever looked. The gameplay is still fun. The campaign is shot as it is. It's such a cool, realised world. And I hope this game sells really well, because I want to see 2, 3, 4, 5. And eventually, I do feel like we're probably going to get day and date.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe a short delay like Indiana Jones afterwards. But Gears of War officially over. And I think, yeah, between that and Halo being in Helldivers, it's been very much an Xbox IP-centric week on other platforms. But you love to see it. You love to see it.
Yeah. Looking at the reviews, it seems generally favourable, but not blowing out the water. It's currently on PlayStation 5. It's currently sitting at 79 on the critic reviews, going up to 84 on Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm. Again, I think with these reviews, you've got to take in the fact that this is a 20-year-old game still at its heart. So yes, it's going to be a bit clunky. Certain things aren't going to work. It is a co-op game by nature, so if you are playing it single player, like I had a few times, you know, when on co-op mode, you hit another checkpoint and it pops you back in to like it just jumps you to another part of the map. It still does that in single player, so it'll trigger a cutscene and then it'll just jump me to where it wants you to start the next part of the level. It's a bit jarring, but it's like it's a 20-year-old game. So
it's a 20-year-old game. We have to remember that this is a remaster, not a remake.
Yeah, and I'm sure when we get to your Metal Gear conversation, we'll get similar things of like, this basically preserves the brutal straightforwardness that was the original. It's a straightforward campaign. It's very guided. You've got lists of characters which are very iconic. Simple mechanics in terms of shooting and weapon distribution. Simple enemies, but it's the best it's ever looked. And it's got like all the DualSense features as well on PlayStation 5. So it's got the haptic triggers. You've got that kind of sense of like that HD rumble feature coming through. And to a point, actually, I should mention as well, the you know when like your team radio you're in, like HQ, and say, Marcus, we need you to go through forward, find an entrance point or something. That comes through the controller speaker.
Oh, nice.
So a little bit more like immersion there that you wouldn't have otherwise had, and still won't get on an Xbox, ironically. But best way to play Gears of War, I would say.
You mentioned Metal Gear Solid Delta. We might as well go on to that next. So I've played it.
What a thrill!
You've said there's things that you want to ask, so ask away. What do you want to know?
Well, I guess for the audience who don't already know, it's like our history with Metal Gear Solid. So from my recollection, I played Metal Gear Solid 1 predominantly at Rob's house.
Yes.
Watching him, helping him, playing through it. And then I played Metal Gear Solid 2 at Rob's house with you on the sticks for a pizza party night we had as kids where we played for probably 10 hours straight.
And we finished the game.
to a point where like someone came on the, what's it called, the radio. I can't remember what the radio's called off the top of my head. He comes on your comms and says...
The
you need to stop playing. Yeah, the codec, that's it, and it locked you in a room as Raiden, naked, doing naked cartwheels, and I remember it so vividly, even though we were probably 12 year old or something. And because we had it so funny, all we did is we turned the PlayStation off, turned it back on, and the game let us continue. Like, we bypassed Kojima's failsafe.
It's one of them weird things, thinking back at it. It was probably, we felt really, really late when we were playing, but it was probably only like 11 o'clock.
Possibly, 2 in the morning at least. But so we got past that. And then, Metal Gear Solid 3, I think, was the first one I actually played on my own. So I've got like different experience of them all. But you stopped at 2 for some reason.
I didn't have a PS3.
You didn't get PS3. It's a good thing it came out on the PS2.
So I played 1, 2, and then the next Metal Gear Solid I played was 5.
Big jump, big gap.
Big gap, yeah. So obviously I've never played the original Metal Gear Solid 3. So this is a completely new experience for me. But first thing out the gate, you have two options. There's the modern mode and legacy mode. And you happily know, Chris, there's a trophy for starting the game on either mode.
Just for starting the game?
Yes.
Oh, I can live
There's
with that.
literally a trophy to start a game on legacy mode and a trophy to start the game on modern mode.
That's easy. So you just jump in, boot up, then start again, new game, and go on. And which version of the controls did you opt for?
I've went for modern for my first playthrough. I am aware that it's a multiple playthrough games for the trophy, and I think some of the trophies require you to complete in under 5 hours.
Yeah,
because it's if you skip cutscenes, with cutscenes it's probably a 30-hour game. Without them, it's probably 2 hours.
Most likely, yeah. Knowing Kojima, I did think actually when you started doing, I watched some of the first look earlier on today.
Oh, terrible!
How much of this first look is just going to be you watching all the exposition at the beginning? This is mission virtuous. What's virtuous mission mean? And then it's like dun dun dun. It doesn't even really get. Did you even get to the title song, the title card?
Not in the first look. I kind of ran out of time because I've not played it before.
Yeah,
so I was like, I got to the cutscene when this feels like a good place to stop. We're a little bit over an hour in, so I'll stop. I played for another like 10-15 minutes after it, and they got the title screen.
Well,
so I was like, if I knew that, I would have just kept recording.
Is it just after you meet Eva and a certain character from Metal Gear 1?
No, the title screen's before that.
After that. Before that, okay.
After in the virtuous mission, you get to the point where the first look ends.
Yeah.
Then you pretty much get attacked by Ocelot.
Yeah.
Then you escape.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil what happens next, but a thing happens pretty much immediately after that. Not quite the boobs yet. A thing happened, and then with a bridge. With a bridge, yes, the thing on the bridge happens, and then title screen.
Oh,
so that's how.
Yeah, that's okay,
so let's see how close I was to it. But if I knew that, I would have ran a bit longer.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Yeah.
What a thrill. Yeah. There's a few things to get into, I guess. Not opting for legacy mode for me was like, it's an interesting one because you played Metal Gear Solid 2 so much. So it's like going into like the first person shooter, like first person mode for aiming, I think would have been familiar to you, like very Kojima Metal Gear, because it's essentially just two, like upgrades slightly. But I think because you've also had 20 years to grow and play different games since then,
and maybe the muscle memory.
Maybe the muscle memory from Metal Gear 2 wouldn't translate very well, and it might sour the experience a tad.
So one of the things I've noticed, because the whole game is very, very beat you over the head with stealth, which I'm being very bad at.
We've seen that in our Hitman playthroughs.
Oh god, yeah. I've kind of abandoned it a bit, but the stuff like when you hide in a bush, like it goes into first person and you can't see anything. Yeah. That's where, because the game in modern modes goes between first and third person, it's like, this feels a bit janky.
Yeah.
Some of the controls actually feel a bit floaty in a way where it's like, I've accidentally ran into an electric fence because he took a few extra steps after I stopped moving. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I saw in a few of the early reviews people saying that if you play in modern mode, it kind of breaks the initial blueprint of the game because Kojima had like fixed camera angles and he wanted you to see certain things in certain areas to like obscure your view in one area or give you like a clear path.
He's
or
very much
enemy patrol
out.
Meticulously where he wants you to go, and because you can see all over the shoulder third person, you're kind of breaking free of the original game's plan. But I don't think that would hamper it too much ultimately, because you are stealthing around, and I'm guessing using the tranquilizer a shit ton.
Yes, I'm using the tranquilizer, and I'm finding ammo is not an issue. The game makes it out as if you're on your own, you have to scavenge for stuff, and I'm just like, there's ammo everywhere. Yeah,
we sent you in with no weapons, just this knife for CQC.
Yeah, we sent you in with just a tranquilizer gun and a knife. You have to scavenge for stuff. Oh, by the way, the Russians are kind of nice and just left ammo fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and these lovely package boxes that spin on the spot as well, so you can find them quite easily. Have you ate a snake yet?
Yes, there's a trophy for that.
The title suggests. Was it a reticulated python?
No, I can't remember. It might have been, actually. I've ate a few different snakes because I'm eating everything. I'm sampling everything. I ate a tarantula earlier.
Ooh, tasty. There's some of them do poison you, I believe. You get like a certain boost, but they do make you ill. This was the game that taught me what the word reticulated meant when you only see a reticulated lorry. And I was like, oh, that's what it can go back on itself like a snake would turn around. And then I always had this joke in my inner monologue in my head where I was like, you've got a reticulated python and you've got an articulated python, and the articulate one's really good at speaking, very eloquent, very formal. The articulated
python can explain what the reticulated python is.
Exactly, yeah. He comes in, he's like, oh, hello, Snake. He's on your codex. Hello, Snake, it's me, the articulated python. Sorry.
In my mind, he's got a pipe.
A pipe, a monocle, and a top hat. He's like, it's me, Snake, the actual Snake. I'll help you through. But you know what? With Kojima and the craziness, is like the game does have the Ape Escape tie-in option. I feel it's like a little side game.
I haven't looked at it, but it does have it.
I think from memory serves, it's literally just it's another Konami kind of like tie-in with like Japanese and like Ape Escape on the PlayStation 1, and it was just. Have you found any little froggies yet? Little hidden frogs in the trees and stuff.
There's frogs and ducks.
It's basically they frog out them. They swap out them for the apes in the game, and you can find them in bushes. It's basically Ape Escape, but you play as Snake.
Yeah,
it's nice they added it in. But yeah, what's your overall thoughts in terms of like just the visuals and stuff? Is it like jarring to see Snake in such high fidelity and Ava's boobs, or is this is what I expected?
It's what I expected because it is a remake, not a remaster. It's gorgeous. For me, it's actually running smoothly. Apart from the weird janky stuff I've already mentioned, it's running smoothly. It just feels like the controls sometimes a little bit janky, or the camera's not great, but nothing to do graphically, and I've not noticed any frame rate issues or anything like that. Yeah. I'm just enjoying it. But I feel like it's one of them where I fought one boss, fell down like a ravine, came out and fought another. Halfway through, I fought another boss. I fought a boss 5 minutes ago. Now I'm fighting another one.
This game's very heavy on, and they're all characters, proper like Kojima characters. Like what acid he was taking when he invented some of these guys.
So I fought the Pain, the Hornet dude.
Yeah. How did you take him down the end? Did you hide in the water and sneaky?
No, I couldn't figure out what to do, so I just kept chucking. I've realised if I chuck a smoke bomb at him, it's like Hornets disperse. Yeah, and they could lob a few grenades in there.
Yeah, I think I recall I used to go underwater where they don't like go on. Yeah. And sneak up on them somehow, but I'm going to have to figure that out next week when I get around to it.
I did jump in the water sometimes, but you have to be careful with the grenade strategy because his Hornets pick up your grenades and send them back to you.
Bastards. They'll do that if you litter in public, they'll grab it and chuck the rubbish back at you. There's interesting. There's one boss fight I don't really want to spoil because you're not too sure, but back in the day... you won't be able to use it, but back in the day, to defeat this boss as a Kojima cheat code, you had to go into your PlayStation's memory, your date and time, change the internal clock on your console to alter the time in the game to get past a certain boss. Now, I don't think that's going to work on a PS5 because it's connected to the internet and it always knows what time it is and what location it's in. But I'm very interested to see how that will play out in the remastered version.
Is it one of them where he coded it in a way where you could only get past them at a certain time of day?
Yeah, it's
so you had to change your internal clock to fix.
Yeah, it's a bit like Psycho Mantis, like how you would do Psycho Mantis in a remake, because there's no real. I don't think PlayStation legally are allowed to give access to players' memory access now to see what games they've been playing. There's probably some privacy. Yeah. Lock in place, whereas back in the day, it would just read your memory card and go like, hoo.
And how would you do second controller? If someone doesn't have, because now you have to have two controllers. Well, before you just put it in port 2, so you could expect someone to do that, but you can't really do it. Expect someone to buy a second controller.
Give you a really I mean, you'll still be able to defeat. You could still defeat Psycho Mantis without doing that, I recall. But
your controls were inverted though.
Yeah, maybe you can just let them add a player 2 in temporarily and play with a second player position. I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure it out. We'll do some quick. I mean, IGN and everyone's going to be all over that. But in terms of the game, I'm glad it's reviewing well. It's probably a good thing your first look ended before the theme tune, because we would 100% have got copyright struck for a full 4-minute, amazingly beautiful rendition of the Snake Eater soundtrack.
I realised how much this game is Hideo Kojima back in the day going, what if Metal Gear Solid was a Bond film?
Oh, yes.
That's and then the name Snake Eater even sounds like a Bond film.
Yeah, and he would be the bad guy.
James Bond will return in Snake Eater.
Snake Eater, and it's such a Bond theme, and like the trumpets and the instrumentals as well. It's like, and what is
the visuals?
The camo and the
have
silhouettes
you seen the intro?
The new one, yeah. They released a trailer for it about 3 months ago. It's like the build up to the launch of like here's the full intro with the new song. It's great. And what I can't wait for is just think, come the Game Awards, we might get Metal Gear, that theme tune mixed in with
that's gonna be there.
Expedition 33.
They can't it can't not be there. It's gonna have to be getting nominated for something just so that theme tune can be there.
Yeah, do it. Get it. You know what? In fact, I know last time they got Remedy up, didn't they? And they did the Alan Wake Champion of Light song. Let Cynthia, I want to say Harnell, I think is the original woman. She did a live performance recently. She can still sing this song herself. Get her for a live version of this at the Game Awards, because that would be epic.
Game Awards Orchestra this year is going to be amazing.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
Gears of War, Metal Gear Solid, Clair, Obscur.
Like, it tends to be Game of the Year nominees who get into the actual one, doesn't it? So you've been talking probably Ghost of Yotai as well.
Ghost of Yotai, Hollow Knight Silk song's probably going to be in there.
Yeah. What a thrill.
I know.
But overall, can't wait to see Metal Gear Solid Delta. Snake Eater.
Oblivion will be in there as well.
Do well. Yeah. It's going to be a ball, that.
Yeah.
But glad you're enjoying it. I'm looking forward to hearing your updates as you work your way through these bosses. Anything else?
No, not at the moment. I've got a feeling, though, by the next time we record, I'll at least roll credits, because it is only a short game. So, and then I'll be on to various different playthroughs, and I think my second playthrough I will probably play in classic mode.
So, are you feeling platinum run? Do you think it's obtainable?
I don't know. Possibly. I've had a quick look at the trophy list, and it doesn't look too bad. But there is one where it says get the title of Foxhound or something, and I don't know what that means right now. I think it's because there is like an in-game achievement
like
list for for completing the game with certain like kind of self-imposed challenges, like completing the game under 5 hours without killing anyone. It might be something
like that. In my head, I'm picturing, like you go through all like the zones, like the different areas, and it comes with like just the name of the area that you're going into, with like that little Resident Evil load screen kind of thing with like a black screen, and it'll say like, something east, like Forest East or something like that. I feel like there's some internal ranking system of like each one of them areas you get through them without either killing people or only using tranquilizer or something. But yeah, I'm sure there's like a meta game that would give you a rank.
There is a trophy for clearing the game without killing anyone. It's called Peace Walker.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Which
it's
be one of the remakes.
It's Foxhound, the Foxhound trophy. Acquire the Foxhound title. At the moment, that means absolutely nothing to me.
It means nothing to me, and I've finished it.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that's one of the in-game challenges to do. So we'll see. But most of the other stuff doesn't seem to be overly taxing. So, yeah.
But was it nice to get back to some Metal Gear music as well?
Yeah.
After so long without.
I still want a remake of one. Give me a remake.
Oh, it's coming. It's got to be coming.
Yeah.
There's a lot more work needs to go into one, though, to modernise it.
Yeah.
A lot.
But even if
we'll get it. I
don't even know if with modern they should fully modernise it. Maybe keep it the same style of game. So it's not going to be a first-person, over-the-shoulder thing. You're keeping the same fixed camera angles and stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like that doesn't modernise it enough. For especially if they want this like reboot trilogy or whatever it ends up being to be like one package of like these are the modernised versions. But that's a conversation for them to have. Maybe it'll go full circle like we theorise, and Kojima will be back in 10-15 years.
Oh, there's one thing for you. Kojima is mentioned in the credits of the game.
Several times,
quite a few times in the opening credits. So it was one of them. It was nice to see.
I think we said when it got announced, it would be so foolish of them to just like wipe his existence from the game. Like he didn't have any say in it whatsoever, because they ultimately. I mean, you see it when they pop in the credits, and it's like he did this, he did that, he did everything but voice Snake himself. Sometimes I think. Yeah,
he's the game director, but he's also the lead story writer. He's basically the entire vision behind the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's his baby, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
PlayStation Plus games for September, Chris, include Psychonauts 2, Stardew Valley, and Viewfinder.
Woohoo! These are
Decent
the
month.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, decent month.
Yeah, all playable from September 2nd, so you can claim them all on my birthday, folks. Psychonauts is one of those where, when we first got Xboxes and Game Pass ourselves, I think Psychonauts 2 was maybe one of the first Game Pass titles to come out, if I recall. It also came out on PlayStation 4 back in the day, so it was like in that really big transition period for Xbox. And I thought, like, it's one of those where I've always heard really good things about it. It's a smaller game. It's a little bit more akin to a traditional platform adventure game. Cute little characters, interesting story. A bit like a Ratchet and Clank or a Jak and Daxter, almost. If you remember, it was in the Game of the Year award nomination categories of its release. Last time it was the only Xbox game that showed up that year. And I remember we ribbed them thinking, like, that's the most they could do. 2021
nominee for Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, and Best Action Adventure Game.
Yeah, and it always comes across as quirky. And if you remember the new game that's coming out, is that one, the Lighthouse that's got legs?
Yes.
That we watched at the Summer Game Fest, that's these guys. So they're pretty wild and crazy. Only a small studio. But yeah, I think good little get. I'm not too sure if Psychonauts 1 I think it is available on PlayStation. That makes sense because the sequel followed up.
I would have thought so. Psychonauts 1 is a PS3 game, isn't it? 2005, Windows, Xbox, PS2.
Jeez. So there you go. Might drop in the classics soon, but long time coming. But I think it's a good little get. Shows the PlayStation, Microsoft, which we know from this week's releases, are speaking very well. And go support the little game. Stardew Valley, I think, is, if you've not already bought it yet somehow.
This is a weird one for me because, like, if you're interested in Stardew Valley, how haven't you bought it yet?
Yeah,
it feels like one of them games.
Very indie game. It's just a constant.
Yeah,
in people's lives.
Occasionally it turns up on like some of my social media feeds of just memes from Stardew Valley. It's like, I've never played the game before.
Yeah, I played it. I had it on Vita, PlayStation Vita, and we almost had it on Google Stadia, if you recall. But the developer lost his Lord of the Rings collection on Google Drive or Movies. I believe so, or it's the other game that looks.
That was
exactly
Terraria,
like Stardew Valley.
wasn't it?
Terraria, it might have been. Now you're saying it out loud. Either way, Stardew Valley, great game, and Viewfinder, I know nothing about. So
Viewfinder, use an instant camera to challenge perception, redefine reality, and reshape the world. View the world through a new lens in this charming and unique first-person puzzle adventure. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I am. Reshape a wealth.
Right. So it's like The Witness, essentially, like 3D puzzle games. I'm guessing you look through the camera to like align items up to solve a puzzle and get the photo. Like a trigonometry trick kind of thing.
It was published by Thunderful. I'm trying to see if it is a sequel to The Witness.
Yeah, I can see what you'd have to do. You'd have to like line like items up to make like the right shadow to take a picture in form of a shape or something, and then I can see that being quite fun. But
Sad Owl Studios, but it's very positive on Steam. Yeah.
That's a good one. Again, Viewfinder, the only PlayStation 5 game on this list. The other two are PS4 variants. Not that it really matters. They're all quite low quality. I mean, not quality in that terms. You know what I mean? Like, they're not high fidelity AAA quality graphics pushing. It's a pixel game. It's a cartoon-esque camera puzzle game, and Psychonauts, which is a 3D cartoon action platformer.
But you do have a Game of the Year nominee. An evergreen, like indie title.
Indie darling, yeah.
And a quirky indie game.
It's okay.
So it's solid. Not amazing, but solid.
Psychonauts 2 is one of those games when I'm looking at this cover art on the PlayStation blog, why can't I picture this game on a boxed copy on a shelf at all? When sometimes I can picture like my WWE 2Ks, I can picture FIFA in game or your local CAX shop or something. But when I'm looking at Psychonauts 2, I cannot visualise a boxed physical copy of this game. Don't know why.
I literally have no idea. I'm the same because it's like I was in a CAX not long ago and I was perusing through some of the games and never saw it. Do you think it's just one of them games that a lot of like brick and mortar stores, for whatever reason, just didn't stock in the UK. Because, to be fair, the box art, have you seen it? It's pretty nice. It stands out.
Yeah. Maybe they just didn't print enough,
Yeah.
didn't make enough copies of it, so they sold what they needed to at launch, and then, again, it was a smaller title, but... Yeah, I think this is one that I'll eventually get to, and just because apparently the story's fantastic, like really emotional, pulls on your heartstrings, like a good Pixar movie would. I kind of look at the gameplay and just think, I would totally enjoy this. I just haven't got around to it yet. Yeah. And now I can, for free, on my birthday.
Yeah. What you know? What else you can get for Chris? Free, Chris. You know what else you can get, Chris, for free? Assassin's Creed Mirage is giving you some free story DLC.
Got to be the most random news story of the week. This
Yeah.
one, when I saw someone share it in our Discord server, and I had to kind of like double read it and go, Mirage? Don't they mean shadows?
No,
And it was
Mirage.
like,
Definitely
no,
Mirage.
The 2023 semi-successful game. I don't think it was received overly well. It was the kind of stopgap between Valhalla and Shadows. Let's face it. And it was like back to the roots of Assassin's Creed. It's a smaller story, all about assassinations in the 9th century.
The problem with it, though, seems to be like there's a lot of people calling out for Assassin's Creed to return to more of a stealth-focused game, going back to its roots, and Mirage somehow missed the boat on that. It felt, I don't know, it just felt like they weren't willing to commit to the kind of the vision of like the early like Ezio games properly.
Yeah, Mirage is one of them games where if it didn't come out, no one would miss it in the Ubisoft grander scheme of titles. It wasn't bad. It was just, it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And like I finished it. I've got the platinum trophy in it, and I enjoyed playing it. But after it finished, I did just feel like it was like that was a game maybe like 10 years out of time, 10, 15 years out of time. And probably because of the focus on the old one, like it was okay.
Yeah.
But that was about it. So yeah, the random story for the week is Assassin's Creed's and Ubisoft's official channels put a post out saying, Assassin's Creed Mirage plays, we have a surprise coming your way later this year. New story chapter missions set in the 9th century of Al-Ula. Gameplay improvements from the base game, a new location. All for free. Stay tuned. Now, there is an undercurrent to this story, Richie, and that is that Ubisoft have apparently received quite substantial investment funding from the Saudi Arabia's controversial Public Investment Fund, also known as the PIF, who are trying to, I think it's like whitewashing the games industry. They've got investments all over the board, but Ubisoft seem quite happy to play ball with these guys.
So what they kind of do, and this happens a lot in football, and it's called sports washing, where a controversial government will use their funds to purchase a beloved asset in, say, for instance, the case of the PIF, it's Newcastle United. With the idea is to kind of have their reputation improved by them spending money on the club and the surrounding area. So there is good that comes from it, but they do it largely so to improve their own image, to hide some of the fact that the Saudi government are notorious for things like torturing people for being gay. Yeah, and chopping people's heads off with swords,
murders and stuff.
Yes,
just general human rights issues.
Torturing journalists. That's kind of their thing.
We saw it with the World Cup going to Qatar, didn't we?
Yes.
And it was like, well, why is it there? Like the temperature, they don't have the stadia, they don't have the infrastructure. Shout out to Google Stadia. And then, it ended up going there, and it was a great World Cup, to be fair. But it's interesting how they have stakes in these companies. As we stand, they have stake in GTA publisher Take-Two, Nintendo, EA, Embracer, Nexon, and Capcom. And obviously Ubisoft, as privy to the story. But, I guess if you enjoyed Assassin's Creed Mirage, time to dust off your copy or reinstall it and go back for a random story chapter that happens to take place in a game centered around the same location as the PIF allocated. So,
it might be perfectly innocent, but keep an eye out for the propaganda.
Yeah. I wonder how many people are actually playing Assassin's Creed Mirage nowadays.
This is one of them things that comes back to, I think Ubisoft sometimes are terrified of you not playing their games. I think sometimes probably their investor calls, one of their biggest metrics is probably hours played per game, because they just seem to cram their games with largely boring content, which brings down the overall package, I think, sometimes, where some of the stuff they do is amazing, but it's surrounded by so much kind of meh kind of stuff. It just makes the game feel a bit flatter.
Yeah.
And somehow, even with Mirage being a small title, still managed to do with that.
Interesting enough, you've got Assassin's Creed Mirage currently on Steam numbers, because we like to pull from Steam just to get some kind of statistical view on things. Currently, on the time recording on a Saturday afternoon on the 30th of August, there's 870 people playing right now, with a 24-hour peak of 1,160, and an all-time peak 10 months ago, which I think was when the final kind of content drop happened, of 7,800. But to put that into perspective, didn't we cover like FBC Firebreak?
Yeah,
like a couple of weeks ago, and their numbers were like less than 100. It was like 86 or something, and that's an online multiplayer game.
And to Mirage's credit here, it's a single-player game, so it doesn't have the same replayability as something like Games as a Service, FBC Firebreak is meant to have.
Yeah,
and it's a couple of years old, and it's not even the newest game in the franchise.
Yeah, but it's a good game.
Yeah,
would I recommend it over Gears of War, Metal Gear Solid, Expedition 33, Mafia, Donkey Kong Bonanza, any other game that's came with this year? Probably not. In fact, I would recommend Shadows over Mirage. So there's a pecking order taking place, but you know what? Free DLC, have at it. And if it's paying a couple of Ubisoft employees so they don't get laid off for another year, then I guess money can be spent well.
Talking about a pecking order, Chris, Hollow Knight Silksong's Shadow release date has caused a lot of devs to rethink their release plans. They've done the Grand Theft Auto thing.
I mean, at least people know when Grand Theft Auto is coming out. But we had some speculation news that Hollow Knight Silksong was going to come out eventually, and then we had Gamescom last week. Nothing was announced by Jeff Keighley, and then they had their own little event afterwards, and it was announced it's coming 4th of September. So this week, it's out this week, and this game's had so much build up and quietness around it. To announce the date so late in the game's development, just 2 weeks out from release, has kind of had a knock-on effect of all these other titles that were due to launch in September are now going, actually, we might want to get out of the way of this. But I know to you and me, it's like, I just don't get it. I really do not get it. Like, I've reinstalled Hollow Knight on my Switch 2 just to see if I'm like, was I missing something? But even like this Eurogamer article we pulled from, the news reporter Robert Perchese, who's the associate editor at Eurogamer, starts his article with, have you heard of a game called Hollow Knight Silksong? Silly question. The chances are you've heard little else during Gamescom week. The near-fabled sequel finally got a release date. And I'm just like, is it that? Like, and large parts of the gaming world erupted in response. I'm like, it's just an indie Metroidvania game. I don't get it. Like, please do let me know in the comments below, like, why is it supposed to be this such a huge game?
What makes this game so special? I feel it's got the Death Stranding thing, where unless you've played it properly, you're not going to get it, because right now I don't get it. It doesn't look bad. I think it looks really good.
Oh, absolutely.
But why it's revered to the level it is currently lost on me.
Yeah.
And I want to know why.
Same. I want to know why. Ironically, it'll probably end up winning Game of the Year now. Now we joke about it and say, I have no idea what it's like. But yeah, we've had a few movers. So, for example, I'll just go through them all. All of these games have shifted dates since the announcement. You've probably not heard of many of them. A lot of them are indie games. Lord Ambermaze moved back. Demon School, Comfy Girl, Clover Pit, Kajora, Starbears, Little Witch in the Woods, Moro's Protocol, Fairland, Eternia Lucas, and Megabonk have all moved back a couple of weeks out of that window. Not Megabonk. The only one I recognised was Baby Steps, which was that, the one where you move the fat drunk guy around and try and navigate a rough terrain in the countryside. That's probably the biggest title of them all. Is there something we said about these are just indie games, and maybe with Hollow Knight kind of been revered as like the top tier indie game? They're maybe thinking it's going to get in the way on storefronts and such.
Yes, I think that's exactly it. For things like the Steam storefront, something like Hollow Knight being there will massively draw attention away from one of these indie games potentially getting the space to shine.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much real estate in that storefront, and if you miss your window, that could be your game dead.
Yeah. Just, it's interesting, isn't it, how it happens? Like, I can totally see next year when GTA comes out, everyone's going to avoid that. You do not want to go toe-to-toe with Grand Theft Auto. no, you'd be foolish to, unless you are a little indie game, ironically, and you're just not in that world at all. Like a Bluey game could come out at the same time as GTA, and we'd get like a Barbenheimer effect, I think.
Yeah.
Like Grand Theft Auto, Bluey, like two ends of the complete opposite spectrum of like violence for that thing, and then you got a cartoon game about a dog.
Wasn't it? Was it Doom and Fall Guys had the same thing as well?
Yeah, you get it sometimes with games where they just have this swell of interest and they like vibe off each other. To be fair, there are a lot of other movies that haven't really moved. Jet Runner, Hell Is Us comes out the same day as Hollow Knight, as does Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. Chronos: The New Dawn comes out 5th of September. So there are some arguably big games, AAA, AA games, especially I think Hell Is Us and Chronos: The New Dawn coming out a day apart. I think that's a more interesting one to watch because for me, I don't know about you, how you feel, Chronos: The New Dawn and Hell Is Us look so similar visually, with like really dark colour palette, lots of reliance on shadows and almost like a horror. Like Chronos: The New Dawn looks like Dead Space, let's be honest, and Hell Is Us looks like Dead Space but without the space. Very grounded, very gloomy, interesting like monster creatures and stuff. And yeah, these two titles coming out a day apart, I think there could be an outright winner in that. But they're both reviewed very well at Gamescom, so it's like there's two arguably great games that are going toe to toe, and then you've got Hollow Knight over here going, I'm going to eat all your lunch regardless.
Yeah.
So crazy, but interesting how the games industry kind of ebbs and flows.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes two similar games can actually raise them both up because it gets a conversation going. It could be one if people are comparing Hell Is Us versus Chronos: New Dawn. The fact that people are making that comparison and talking about it makes a lot more awareness of the games, so that can be like kind of like raise them both up rather than being competing. They're pushing each other up. But
absolutely,
indeed. But it looks like Hollow Knight's just one of them. I feel like at some point we're going to have to play. I'm going to have to add it to my list of games that I need to play to consider become a real gamer.
Same. It's like I said, I've re-downloaded the original, so I'll probably report back next week of if it's blew my mind.
You can't consider yourself a real gamer if you've never played Hollow Knight, if you've never played Death Stranding, if you've never beat at least one boss in a Soulsborne game. Elden Ring's included in that.
Or played Helldivers.
No, that's fine. You don't need to play Helldivers.
Yes, you do.
I make up the rules, Chris. I make up the rules. Shinobi, Art of Vengeance is one of the highest rated Xbox games of 2025.
Wow.
It's reviewing quite well, Chris. Reviewing quite well.
It's not just on Xbox, is it?
No, I don't think so, but it's just it's reviewing well on Xbox. I'm reading from pure Xbox.
That's that makes more sense. I was like, it's not. I didn't realise it was exclusive. Yeah, I love me a Shinobi game. It's one of my favourite Sega Mega Drive games from back in the day. We got the trailer. We got another kind of like teaser trailer back in the summer, and this looks like if you took the art style from Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown and applied it to Shinobi, which ironically Prince of Persia takes so much inspiration from the Shinobi games as well, and you put together, this just looks great. Reading from The Gamer, they give it a 5 out of 5, saying Shinobi Art of Vengeance is a home run on the first pitch. It's one of the most gorgeous, creative and satisfying games of 2025 and has effortlessly clawed its way to becoming my frontrunner for Game of the Year. Shit. Push Square, our beloved PlayStation site, gave it a 9 out of 10, saying Shinobi Art of Vengeance is hard to fault. We can take or leave the story, the platforming occasionally frustrating, and levels can outstay their welcome sometimes, but that's basically it. This is an otherwise brilliant 2D action platformer that looks gorgeous, plays even better thanks to its kinetic, satisfying combat that feels superb when you get in the flow. Start that review almost seemed like the 9 out of 10 was too generous.
Yeah.
Really getting into it. And the last one I'll give you, IGN give it an 8 out of 10. They say this is a genuinely engaging 2D platformer, beautiful to behold and even better to play. It's blessed with a combat system that expands in an invigorating way, as well as a healthy amount of secret side objectives that offer some serious optional challenge outside of the main story path. Like a ninja strapped onto a surfboard, Shinobi Art of Vengeance is eye-catching, deadly, and totally rad as hell.
Nice.
Love the music as well. I don't know what the music, they've not mentioned in any of these reviews, but the soundtrack for Shinobi, what's it called? Shinobi Revenge of Shinobi, that I had for the Mega Drive is so good. Like, even if you just go listen to like a YouTube like original like soundtrack.
Sega Mega Drive era music is so good. I feel it's like same with the Super Nintendo, where music creators that had to be very quite creative because they had very limited tool sets to work with. You can't using a huge orchestra to theme a game. You've only got 16 bits sometimes, and you've got to make a compelling soundtrack that's varied and interesting and doesn't grate on people if you get stuck in the level for ages.
Yeah, it needs to loop really, really ingeniously as well. Yeah. If you've never played the Revenge of Shinobi on it, you just give yourself, when you're editing this up, pulling it together, give yourself just the soundtrack in the background, and you'll know what. As soon as you hear it, you're like, this is the essence of Mega Drive amazing themes.
I've just made myself a note to edit in soundtrack behind this section of the podcast. So you may have just been listening to it. Yeah.
The end of the boss fight scared the shit out of me as well, with their Oni masks and stuff, because I didn't really know what they were. The box art used to scare me, to be fair, as a kid. Yeah. Great to see Shinobi back against a franchise that, in another world, it could have transcended into a 3D action game. But
it probably did at some point.
Stuck to they had a little go of it in around the PS3 era, because I remember playing a demo for one, but it didn't do very well. It wasn't received very well. But in a different world, it could come back as a Dark Souls-esque game. To be fair, brutal difficulty, Shinobi art style, bit of visuals here and there, big Oni boss fight at the end, and people would lap it up. Give it a FromSoft, they'll do something with it.
Yeah, there was a Shinobi 3D in 2011. That's for the Nintendo 3DS.
Wasn't that one? It might have just been called Shinobi.
Shinobi 2002. Shinobi 2002 debuted in the world of 3D gaming with Shinobi, only for the PS2. That'll be the one you're thinking of.
PS2, wow. That was probably official PlayStation Magazine demo disc that I played that on then.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to official PlayStation Magazine.
Indeed. And shout out to Helldivers, Chris. Helldivers veterans are helping Xbox newcomers as the game spikes past 500,000 players. Gotta love the community there.
It's back, yes. Official statement from the president of Super Earth as well this past week said, "Today we give thanks to every new Helldiver that has joined the valiant fight for managed democracy. Since the opening of the new enlistment centres in our recovering megacities, we've seen an unprecedented jump in recruitment among citizens of all ages and classifications. Your bravery, patriotism and potential sacrifice will make the galaxy safer and freer for all super citizens. Give 'em hell, Helldivers." That's a direct message from the president of Super Earth, also known as the person in charge of the Helldivers Discord server.
Yeah.
But yeah, they tweeted out this week.
Imagine if that was actually the head of the community's official job title, president of Super Earth. That's what was on their CV.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Shams Georgiani is the guy who kind of runs the Discord server, which is where all of the community positivity comes from and the hype around it. But yeah, he posted saying, "This is going to be a bit awkward, but can I ask you to stop shitting your pants somehow?" And then posted a screenshot of the total player count as it passed 500,000 active players across all platforms, which of course that was then accompanied by the loyally super soldier message you've had below. But yeah, it's out now on Xbox. I mentioned at the top of the show, I went in and bought all of the Halo ODST skins and uniforms. I'm sure they just made a boom in cash as well, as people have not only bought the game on Xbox for the first time. Because remember, this is not a free-to-play game.
It's not.
This is a paid-for game with purchasable war bonds within the game. That the reason it does so well is you can earn them all very, very quickly through just playing the game. And because the gameplay loop is so fucking good, that's why people stick around. And the reason I kind of wanted to bring up Helldivers again this time around is because there's been loads of community stories that I've shared about Helldivers players just helping each other out, and this is one of them where, because you're versing computers, you're not killing other people. So there's no teenagers being dicks in the chat. There's no squad members just necessarily booting you out the game or teabagging you on the floor or something. This is you versus them as a humanity, as a species, and that kind of that meta humor that's going on within it as well. That's why it works so well. But there's been loads of stories this week across the Helldivers Reddit of people saying I'm a first time Xbox diver. People refer to themselves as first timer, and other people joining teams. I saw a story this week that a person who's never played the game before jumped in. They got paired up with two people who were level 100. and what the level 100 people did, rather than call them a noob and kill them and teabag them and stuff like that and kick them out of the game, they showed them the ropes and taught them through voice chat and copying them how to do certain things, how to trigger certain objectives, helping them out. And I've seen loads of memes post around of like people saying like, "Oh, congratulations, son, on your first charger kill," which is one of the bad guy creatures. Yeah. There's a meme of a Helldiver pointing at like a big laser tower saying, "When you ask me what's that big red light over there," like a deer caught in the headlights of a lorry. It's like, yeah, that tower is going to fuck you up in a second. It's just like it's one of them games where it's got the zeitgeist, like the meme ability, and it works so good. And it's just great to see. Like again, PlayStation didn't have to do this, and I guarantee you this is coming to Switch 2 as well. And I love to see it. So,
when are we going to do a stream on this, Chris?
As soon as there's a slot opening up. Weddings are out the way, summer's out the way. Is there anything in the dock for this week?
I don't know.
My
schedule's been a bit all over the place recently. I've been struggling to find time during the week.
I know that much.
Yeah.
What we could do, if we want to actually properly lock it in, Saturday the 27th of September is our 6th anniversary for the channel. 6 years of GamerGuildTV. We could do the live show of this podcast. I know we're planning this on the fly. We don't have to commit to it completely. But do the live shows we normally do every year with our audience to celebrate the 6 years. Helldivers after the recording. And then just see where it goes from there.
I'll have to check. I've got some stuff on my calendar already.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Roughly give or take. If not, we'll do it another day.
Yeah.
But 500,000 plays on a game that's coming up 2 year old next February.
Yeah, I'm also kind of looking at next Friday. My girlfriend's on nights.
Okay, it might be sooner then.
Yeah,
sooner rather than later.
Well, right. Well, we'll talk offline anyway. Over the next week. But
what a game!
Is it though?
I can't wait to get you in there and just show you the ropes. On PlayStation or Xbox, what's your vibe?
I'd go PlayStation.
I mean, it's crossplay, but I'm PlayStation anyway, so you might as well just get in with me.
I'd go PlayStation because if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy a disc copy.
Yeah, that's fair. Wait till you see my sick Hellgas suit as well from Killzone. Yeah. I'm trying to think, now Halo's done so well, where else could this game on? Get me a Gears of War skin in there as well. Get me some bad guys from that. I'm so curious in the next, if it keeps with a play rate like this does, like Apex, and it's broke through. It's safe to say it's broke through now, right? Where it's one of them games that's going to have an ever presence. If they can support it consistently, what real world fun IP could transfer over into this one? I think Resistance is a big one for me. Killzone, it got skins. I'm telling you, give me the actual Hellgas. Let me go kill alien Nazi people with red eyes.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear? How would you get that in there?
I don't know, but
you're just in the moment.
Yeah, I was just thinking because it does have the kind of gritty art style. You could just run around in a mech.
Mass Effect. I feel like it needs to be spacey themed as well. You need a hell pod coming down from a spaceship. Mass Effect could work. Dead Space could do something get some what they call necromorphs. Yeah, the spider things in there. But again, they're going to need something because again, a game like this, you need that boost base every now and again. Yeah. And I think coming to Switch 2, that could be huge for next summer. Yeah.
Let's quickly move on to our Game Pass titles for September 2025. Starting on the 4th of September, Hollow Knight Silksong. We've already talked about that, so we'll not go further into it. There's two interesting ones in here, I think. September the 5th, NHL 26, not a game for me, but it does have an EA 10-hour trial.
So go check that one out.
Yeah, indeed. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor comes out September the 17th.
That was a fun little one.
Yeah.
Dwarfs. Is it a Survivor a special edition? Like a Game of the Year edition? Or is it it's not a sequel, is it?
I haven't got a clue, actually.
Because, Deep Rock, it was the dwarfs in space, wasn't it? Mining with,
Yes,
Deep
it
Rock
is,
a single-player survivor auto shoot. Take on the hordes, reverse bullet, complete stronger. Yeah, it tells me what the game is, but it doesn't tell me if it's a sequel or anything. Deep Rock, just with it saying Survivor, I don't recall. I thought it was called Deep Rock Galactic. I don't recall there being a Survivor. It says 2025. 17th of September release date. See if it's...
Deep Rock
it
Galactic
like
came
it
out
might
in
be.
2020 on Xbox One and Windows. Came to 2022 on PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S.
Oh, it's a spin-off, yeah.
It's a spin-off, yeah.
Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is a shoot-'em-up video game by Funday Games. It's a top-down spin-off of the first-person shooter Deep Rock Galactic, modelled on the auto shooter Vampire Survivors. So that's why it's called Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. So it's going to be like a top-down version of it. Player controls a dwarf on a solo mission to mine ore, shooting enemies, and ultimately defeating a boss at the end of each level, similar to Vampire Survivors, in order to keep experiencing and increasing their weapons' power. Began development after discussing Vampire Survivors with CEO of Ghost Ship Games at the 2022 Gamescom convention, releasing early access on Windows. So it looks like, the devs basically met up at Gamescom, had a chat with the dude who made Vampire Survivors, went, this is a great game, let's use our IP, add Survivor on the end of it, like Vampire Survivors, and release it. So yeah, that's like quite a quirky story to bring us that one, but hey, straight into Game Pass. But yes, it is not Game of the Year edition, it is straight up a brand new game. Cool, it's a good get.
Yeah, Frostpunk 2, which I think is a real-time strategy, sitting at a Metascore for the PC version of 85.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to consoles, come to Game Pass specifically. And EA Sports FC 26, September the 19th, another 10-hour trial.
Nice. Where are you sitting on this year's FC 26? Is this the year you buy, or is this the year that you skip and wait for next year?
I think I'm in just a hard skip at the moment.
Okay.
I don't know, I just haven't felt the desire to buy a game in a while, an EA Sports FC game in a while. I'll probably check out the trial.
Was it? You own an FC game, right?
No.
Like, you don't own, so your last one was an actual FIFA entry.
I think it was the last FIFA, so I think it was FIFA 24.
Yeah, piece of history like that.
Yeah. So I've only missed one.
Oh no, no, can be right. FC 24, FC 25. This is FC 26. No, this must be the third one already. I think I've got 20. Yeah, I've got 24 on PS5, and I've got FC 25. I've just bought it on the Switch because it was on sale. So yeah, this will be the third entry.
Yeah, it was
God, it feels
23.
like yesterday when we covered that story.
I know.
I remember us saying like, "Oh, yeah, like how are they going to do it? How is the name FIFA going to stick?" FIFA, like, you know what? We're probably not far off FIFA actually having their brand new. You know, we said they'll spin off and take the IP elsewhere.
Been 3 years.
We're probably not far off that actually coming to market. Obviously, they're not. They're going to miss this season, so you'd imagine they're going to aim for next year. But yeah, and a bit more competition. But yeah, FC 26, and it'll sell millions.
It will. The name FIFA means nothing. As long as they're selling games, they're going to be happy.
It means nothing.
And that is all we have time for in the news section. We like to end every episode with This Week in Video Game History. So starting on August the 30th, Chris, what is jumping out to you?
Ooh, I mean, arguably Street Fighter, coming out in 1987. That is 38 years ago, you find folks over in Japan.
In the arcades.
But the one that jumped out for me initially was Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1. So the OG Spider-Man. And then I think we got Enter Electro, I think was the sequel that came out after that one. It was great. Just it made me feel like, even though if you go and look at old footage, it's so bad and clunky, but being able to swing from actual rooftops, in a Spider-Man game was like, remember when everyone got Spider-Man on the PS4 and it felt like, oh my word, I am Spider-Man, like legit. That's what my childlike brain felt when I was 10-year-old swinging around on the PS1. It looked like shit, and they had to mask the ground of New York City with fog. So if you can only swing in the skyscrapers, but there was no actual ground. It was just black shadow and fog.
They give it the Silent Hill treatment.
Quite literally, or the Superman 64 treatment. But yeah, what a game it's set in. Again, how many superhero games have we had since then? Anything for you stand out?
Not really. I think that's the only game I've played on the list, really.
The Messenger.
Oh, Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. Switch. Never on the PS3. Probably worth a shout out for some of the games in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of it, really.
There's August 31st, Heroes of Might and Magic for the PC. There's a game. I had Heroes of Might and Magic 3 or 4. and it was one of those, when you used to go to Wilkinson's and they'd have games on a rack?
Yeah.
And it's just like the rotating rack of like 2 for $5, and you'd get Army Men, Micro Machines Racing, Heroes of Might and Magic was one of them.
Webs Armageddon.
Caesar is a game. Yeah. Caesar 3 or something I had. Yeah, where put in the PC, played it. That's the game I would get on a weekend if I was well behaved. Instead of like a bag of sweets, I'd get a shitty PC game. Heroes of Might and Magic. Yeah, never really knew how to play it. Didn't really know what was going on. The mechanics are well over my head, but yeah, I enjoyed it all the same.
I've never
was
played
a great one.
I've heard of them, but I've never played them.
They're good, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're just beyond me. Shout as well on the PlayStation 26 years ago in 1999, Dino Crisis. Where is it? Where's the remake? Use that RE engine. Capcom, is that right? Who does Resident Evil? Yeah. Capcom? I always get confused between... It's not Konami, so it must be Capcom. Give us Dino Crisis. It will sell gangbusters. And then I just want to skip ahead to my birthday, Richie, just to see what came out. Just because. Oh, there's one, actually. Very relevant. It's before my birthday. 1st of September, Metal Gear Solid 5. 10 years ago. It's a decade old since we got our last Metal Gear Solid game. The reason I want to mention it is because if you put your birthday in at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid, if you go back to your base, your HQ, in the game, on the date it is on your system, when you get off the helicopter and arrive back as Snake, everyone congratulates you, and D-Dog brings you a cake, I believe, and is Ocelot was your friend?
Yeah, I think
he's your friend in that one, yeah. He gives you like a shake handshake, and like confetti goes off, and it's like, happy birthday, Snake. And I'm like, what am I? And I remember sitting there in my new house, we just moved in, for 2 weeks prior, sat on the floor. I think my wife or girlfriend at the time was just like ironing some clothes or something next to me. I'm on the floor, cross-legged like a kid, playing the PlayStation, and all of a sudden it starts singing Happy Birthday to me in Metal Gear Solid, and my wife's like, what's going on? I'm like, I have no idea. And I was like, oh wait, I put my birthday in at the beginning of the game. Like, that's such a Kojima thing.
Yeah.
Let's see, did anything actually come out?
I'm going to quickly
really
rattle through some September the 1st games while you look.
There's nothing. Just skip it. There's nothing.
Sims 4, Mad Max, Marvel's Avengers, and Starfield all came out on September the 1st. But that is all we have time for you this week. If you've liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you're kept in the loop of all amazing content. Feel free to head over the description of this video where you'll find a link to our storefront, and you can get a nice t-shirt like the one Chris is wearing, or like the one I'm wearing. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been Richie.
My name's been Chris.
GG everyone. Goodbye.
Dun, 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 dun.